If you are watching this video right now, just go ahead and comment "he gone" in the comments below. Also, be sure to drop a like. Liking the video helps me grow, and it shows YouTube that you guys enjoy my content. Lastly, be sure to subscribe. You will not want to miss another Get Like Coop video, and that is fact. So I just updated you guys on the James Harden and Russell Westbrook situation. Also, in that same video, I updated you guys on Giannis and the possibility of him joining the Miami Heat. Now, if you guys missed that video, be sure to check it out after this one. But in that video, I talked about how while I'm making that video, there could be a massive update. And of course, there it is. Now, it's no secret that James Harden wants to go to the Brooklyn Nets, but apparently the Brooklyn Nets have become James Harden's only destination. Now, again, this is not fabricated. This is nothing that I'm making up. This is actually from Woj. So you guys are probably wondering right now, well, okay, you said all of this. Well, show us now, and that's what I'm about to do. How bad does James Harden want to go to the Brooklyn Nets? Well, Woj reports that after turning down an offer to become the first 50 million player in league history, Harden's message is clear: get me to Brooklyn. The Rockets and the Nets have been in contact, but there's been no meaningful dialogue. So basically what this means is the Nets and the Rockets haven't really had talk about the compensation regarding a James Harden package. This is a little bit contradictory of the reports we heard earlier from that SI reporter that said James Harden to the Nets was practically a done deal. But at the same time, maybe that report was true in the aspect of Harden only wants to play for the Brooklyn Nets. That's it. Do you know how bad you have to want out to turn down 50 million a year? James Harden is not messing around at all with the Houston Rockets, and I can't blame him. His guy Morey is out in Philly. Westbrook wants out. The team's direction is up in the air. Everything in Houston is a mess. I've been saying it a lot. This is one of the biggest messes in recent league history, in my opinion. And then I won't necessarily get into it right now, but the reports surrounding the owner just aren't great. It seems like a lot of people don't like him. I think the Nets have the potential to put together an okay package for Harden. You look at the Nets roster and you see talent, but you don't see talent that necessarily interests you if you're the Houston Rockets. And from the aspect, well, I just view things differently, I think, because the Nets, again, they have a lot of talent. But if I'm trading James Harden, I want a young up-and-coming superstar. I want guys like Brandon Ingram. I want guys like Jaylen Brown. I want a Bam Adebayo. That's probably a little unrealistic, but you know, it's James Harden. I'm going to try to go out and get the best possible players possible. And again, I would rather one great young player as opposed to a bunch of players that are good but not great. So this is actually unfair because I was actually kind of sleeping on Jarrett Allen while I was saying all of that. But the thing is, with those young players I just named, we know they're going to be great. Whereas I think Jarrett Allen is going to be good or great. You know, I think Jarrett Allen's already a phenomenal talent, 22 years old. He averages 11 per game. He gives you 10 boards. He's only playing, 27 minutes per game? So there's a lot of room for growth with Jarrett Allen. But if I'm a team trading a superstar, Jarrett Allen is not necessarily selling me. It's going to be interesting to see the pick compensation that comes from the Brooklyn Nets. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't be shocked to see another team get involved. So let's just say you're the Rockets GM. This is a new GM, by the way. So this is a tough situation to be in. What package are you looking for from the Brooklyn Nets? Now, Harden's been your guy for 10 years, however long. You want to do right by Harden, but at the same time, are you fielding other offers? Are you just trading Harden to the Brooklyn Nets? Are you trying to shop him around the league and see if there are any biters? Remember, Kawhi to the Toronto Raptors worked out even though he left the next year. And then Paul George, I'm sure didn't want to go to OKC, but he ended up re-signing. He bought in. Maybe a team tries to call Harden's bluff. And say maybe Harden's not bluffing. Maybe a team like the Nuggets get Harden, and then all of a sudden, Harden starts to buy in when he sees how good the team can really be. Now, there have been reports about the Rockets continuing to want to run it back and go into next season. Man, that's whatever to me. Now, there's not one bone in my body that wants this to not work out for the Brooklyn Nets. I think James Harden going to Brooklyn is going to be fun, if nothing else. I want Harden to win a ring. I would love to see Kyrie get another one. I'd love to see KD get another one. And them being able to all come together to do it, that would be phenomenal. No way I'm going to get mad at that. But part of me wonders, what if this does somehow go south? And I say that not because I think it will, but more so on the pretense of anything can happen and anything is possible. Now, there are some people that think this pairing simply won't work out. And if you are one of those people, let me know down in the comments below why you feel like it won't work out. Some of the pros of James Harden potentially going to Brooklyn are, this is one of the best ball handlers in NBA history. This is one of the best scorers in NBA history. His offensive potential, his offensive talent is unreal. He has defensive talent that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. I think one of the real reasons Harden really doesn't consistently lock in on the defensive side of the basketball is because typically he's asked to do so much for the Houston Rockets that I think it does weigh on him and it does take a toll. Because Harden is somebody that doesn't really load manage. He logs an intense amount of minutes every year, and essentially he's been the main person to keep the Rockets afloat for the last decade or so. So I can't imagine why Harden wouldn't be giving it his all on the defensive side of the basketball. Now, here's the fun thing. That being said, Harden is still a solid defender. Post defense is very good. And you take that, you pair that with Kevin Durant. For some reason, people forgot Kevin Durant can defend. Not just defend, Kevin Durant can lock up. He's extremely versatile. He's athletic. He's 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot. Whatever you feel his height is, that's whatever, because he's long. He's got a good wingspan. And then when it comes to Kyrie Irving, look, Kyrie's not the best defender, but he's not going to be somebody that's going to sink your team or necessarily this giant defensive black hole that's impossible to overcome. I will give it to the Houston Rockets though. I don't think them trading with the Brooklyn Nets will bottom them out unless they flip the assets. I think that could be a bad thing too, because I think if the Rockets truly did get a ton of players from the Brooklyn Nets, I think they're still going to be a solid team, especially if Silas is the coach that everybody thinks he is. And what that does to the Houston Rockets is, if you're not losing, if you're not tanking, I don't even like that word. If you're not tanking, then the Rockets might end up being one of those teams stuck in mediocrity, finishing 9th, 10th, 8th every season. So what I really want the Rockets to do with some of these assets that they get is flip them, bottom out. You don't have to prove you're good without James Harden. You don't have to prove you're some flashy new owner, some flashy new GM that's going to take the league by storm. A lot of times this is what happens when new GMs, new owners step up. Look, you can say 2017 isn't new, okay, whatever, but it doesn't change the fact that all too often we see new-ish owners try to make a splash. And when it goes wrong, it sucks because the franchise suffers and the fans suffer. Now, I'm going to play you guys this video from Shams. What looks like is going on to me is that the Rockets and the Nets are both leaking different things. So this becomes a situation of believe what you want, but let me know what you think at the end of the video.
For James Harden, the Nets, I'm told there's not much interest on Houston's part on any type of deal with them, unless it includes Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. And as far as the Sixers are concerned, unless they're putting in Ben Simmons, which I'm told they are not inclined to do right now, I don't see a deal structure that makes sense for Philly outside of a guy like Ben Simmons. So the Sixers are gonna, and the Nets are gonna have to see if they can cobble a deal together. But I don't think there's tremendous pressure right now on Houston.
Now, I almost forgot. Harden also posted this to his IG, cap or no cap. I want you guys to let me know what you think he's referring to down in the comments below. Now, also go back, refer to your he gone comment, and let me know if you still think this means James Harden is leaving or wants out, or is this just a meaningless post to get everybody talking? Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support the channel. I'm GetLikeCoop bringing you guys the scoop. Until our next upload,